Hello and welcome. You're watching Worldview with me, Vishal Dahiya. This week, we're going to take up the issue of cross-border terrorism. Now, on 22nd of April, 26 tourists and one local guide were killed in Pahalgam in a dastardly attack by terrorists. TRF, or the Resistance Front, which is a proxy outfit of Pakistan-based terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba, has claimed responsibility for this cowardly act. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has categorically said that those carrying out and devising this attack will not be spared. India has announced strong diplomatic offensive as well by blocking all contacts with Pakistan and revoking visas for all Pakistani citizens. India has also put in abeyance the Indus Water Treaty and briefed foreign envoys of major countries on this situation. Pakistan has also responded by suspending the Shimla Agreement and blocking the airspace for Indian aircrafts. While the escalation in India-Pakistan face-off continues, the big question which needs to be answered right now is how can these cowardly acts of cross-border terrorism be stopped permanently? And also, is this the moment when a solution to this problem can be found? For more on this, we're joined by two distinguished experts as panelists today. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with former Ambassador Prabhu Dayal and also retired Major General Ashwani Kumar, who is a strategic analyst and has also served in Kashmir as part of his armed forces tenure. Welcome, both of you gentlemen, to the show. I'll begin straight away by asking one question to both of you. Let me begin with you, General Sivach, and let's start by answering, that very important question, because that is something which we will have to answer first before moving on to the larger issue of trying to find a solution to cross-border terrorism, and especially that being sponsored from across the border by elements in Pakistan. And the question is, how and why the terror attack in Pahalgam happened? General Sivach?
Yeah, Vishal, see, first of all, one must understand the Pakistan has a policy of braiding India with 1,000 cuts. The problem does not lie in Jammu and Kashmir. The problem lies in Pakistan. So if we think that we keep on finding some solution of the problem in India, possibly not. So the point which comes is the how do you handle basically Pakistan? That is a very important thing. Now, what has happened in Pahalgam, why it has happened? There are two, three reasons. There is no denying the fact that the place and the timing of choosing Pahalgam is very important. Possibly why it has happened is that since the Vice President of US was in India, Mr. J.D. Vance, and this was an ideal opportunity for Pakistan ISI to do something in India to internalize the issues of Kashmir. As far as the place is concerned, they selected Pahalgam for two reasons. One is the place which was selected was away from the roadhead in Pahalgam. Second thing is Pahalgam is a place where it is basically a starting point for Amarnath Yatra in the southern Kashmir. There are two routes. One is north, one is south. North is Baltal and southern is Pahalgam, which is a more important route. So they selected a place, they selected a time. Now, if you see the timing, that earlier time also, whenever the president of US is coming, by and large, Pakistan tried to bring out this issue of Kashmir. They did it in 2000 when Clinton came. That time, Sati Singh Pura was there. There more than 26 citizens were killed. And then again, they did it when Barack Obama came. So the point today is Pakistan is not going to mend its ways. Pakistan will, as far as terrorism is concerned, will use this as a state instrument and keep on doing it.
Okay.
What was the reason which has happened? Was there any flaw in Indian system? You see, the point is that one must understand that in a counter-terrorism, when you find that the terrorism is still there in Jammu and Kashmir, in Kashmir Valley, with 90% the terrorists which are residual left out of 120 are only foreign terrorists from Pakistan origin, and only 10% are possibly Indian origin. Now, why it has happened is that as far as the intelligence failure is concerned, yes, we can take it that there is some failure which has taken place, and also there was no security picketing there by the police. Yes, these are the two shortcomings. One can always identify that. But in such a scenario, you may able to avoid 100 times, but you may be unlucky once time and the terrorists are lucky that time. That can
Indeed.
also make a difference. But overall, one will say that it is a big setback as far as India is concerned when more than 25 innocent citizens have been killed by
Mhm.
the Pakistani backed terrorists.
Okay, okay. Indeed, General Sivac, you're right out there that the security forces have to get it right 100 out of 100 times, and the terrorist elements, will have to get it right only once, which unfortunately they got it right on 22nd of April out there in Pahalgam. Ambassador Dayal, the question again it remains the same, but what we would like to understand from you is uh, did we say you not see this coming? Is this a surprise for both the security forces and the government? Overall, this kind of terrorist attack, because there was not much terror activity happening in the state of Jammu and Kashmir in the past few years. One or two skirmishes here and there, some small activity, but no big incident like this has happened. And in fact, if we go back in the history, then perhaps the largest attack on tourists since 1990s.
Well, Vishal, first of all, thanks for having me on your show. And you correctly asked this question, how did this happen? And of course, you also asked the other question, why did this happen? Now, General Srivath is right that there are questions being raised about the picketing. Was it adequate? And he said that perhaps it was one occasion when the picketing fell short, or that the terrorists were lucky in getting their target. But the fact of the matter is, all over the country, this question is being asked. How did this sort of a terror attack happen when there is every possibility of a danger from terrorists? Now, it is not true that terrorist attacks have completely died down. Last year in 2024, there were a number of terrorist attacks, and the casualties were also quite high. Though, of course, nothing happened which was comparable to the Pahalgam terror attack. Now, let me state, there is a heavy army deployment. There is a deployment of the BSF and CRPF and the local Jammu and Kashmir police. So, when there is such heavy security deployment, how can any incident like this take place? There has clearly been a lapse, and I think that those who are responsible for this lapse should be identified and held to account.
Okay.
Now, you made a very pertinent point that Pakistan's policy is to bleed India by 1,000 cuts, and General Sivac also referred to that. We know this for a long time. I served in Karachi in the early 80s, and I used to hear it then, and I hear it now. So there has been no change. And you rightly mentioned that responsibility for this attack has been claimed by the Resistance Front, which is an offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Taiba. But you know, the Lashkar-e-Taiba, the Jaish-e-Mohammed, the Hizbul Mujahideen, these are small outfits. These are puppets. The big terrorist outfit in Pakistan is the army and its intelligence wing, the ISI. That is the terrorist outfit which really controls all terrorist acts against India. It is the mastermind, and it has to be held to account. Now, India is not going to grovel for peace. India is not going to beg for peace. India will get peace on its terms. And our Prime Minister has made it abundantly clear that we will hunt down the terrorists and their backers, and they will be punished in such a way that they would never have imagined. Now, let me also mention, we have downsized the Pakistan High Commission, but that is not adequate. We should close down this High Commission of Pakistan. It is a den of spies. I've always said that that is the place from where terrorist activities are orchestrated. The Pakistan High Commission maintains covert contacts with sleeper cells in India, the sleeper cells of the ISI. Now we have to close down the Pakistan High Commission, and we have to track down these sleeper cells and punish them. We must finish these sleeper cells. And one more thing. If Pakistan's policy is to bleed India by 1,000 cuts. Our policy must now be we will blow Pakistan into 1,000 pieces. We will attack it directly or through forces which are already hostile to Pakistan. Now, let me mention. Pakistan, let me just complete this.
Ambassador Dayal, you're making very strong points out there, and we'll come to them as well, because those are the aspects which we're going to look at. But since you made a few of them, and let me, bring in General Siwach here as well, and I'll come back to you on the other points. Let me take the first one. You referred to the Pakistani army, Ambassador Dayal, and General Siwach. The question here is that was a speech made by Pakistan's army chief just a few days ago a dog whistle for the sleeper cells or for the terrorists who are hiding in on the Indian side of the border in Kashmir or elsewhere to perpetrate those actions? Was that a dog whistle? What is it that the Pakistani army is trying to figure out or trying to do here?
Absolutely. See, first of all, we must understand every country has an army, but in Pakistan, the army has got country. No doubt that the actual power flows in Pakistan from Rawalpindi, not from Islamabad. And the point today is Pakistan army has ruled almost about 40 years out of 77 years of their independence. And the time when they have not ruled, they have ruled from behind. They have all the authority without responsibility. So therefore, they don't deny that fact. Pakistan army plays a crucial role in polity of Pakistan. And more than anything else, the Pakistan army is also involved into the economy. They have Fauji Foundation, which is about $118 billion, which they made Colgate to cement and real estate to bank. So as on today, Pakistan army is in fact the ruler of Pakistan. And there is a saying in Pakistan की army ने आज तक कोई election हारा नहीं है, कोई जंग जीता नहीं. So the point today is, as far as Pakistan army is concerned, they are called the shot in Pakistan. They, whomsoever they want to bring, they want to bring it. Earlier, they brought Imran Khan, who was considered as a selected PM, not the elected. This time, they brought Nawaz Sharif party, and that's how the Shehbaz Sharif is this thing. Now, as far as the chief is concerned, Jana Asif Munir, when he has given a statement, when he was speaking to the overseas citizen of Pakistan, he was talking more like a Maulvi of a masjid, wherein he brought that Hindus and Muslims can't stay together. They are a different religion. Their customs are different. Their traditions are different. Their ambitions are different. Their aspirations are different. I'm sure this is a tripping point, and this motivated the terrorists which are there to do something spectacular, and possibly they were successful. No doubt about it. But there are 2-3 more reasons also as to why they have done it. See, Pakistan is in a deep trouble. There is a political instability, there is economic crisis, and the terrorism is increasing manifold. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is very bold in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Balochistan Liberation Army is hitting them in Balochistan. And Sindh also, there is insurgency which has just started almost 3-4 years back. And Punjab is the only one which is quiet. So there are chances of a civil war taking place in Pakistan with breaking into 4 parts like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, Sindh and Punjab, and POJ and Gilgit-Baltistan joining India. In POJK also, the people are quite angry with Pakistan administration because they feel now that they have been bluffing them that Indian side of Kashmir, there is no development and there are human rights violations. Today, it is a day of social media. People have come to know Indian side of Jammu and Kashmir has progressed almost 70 years ahead of them. There is a grassroots level democracy here. There is a development. There is a record time tourism. People are extremely happy. So you find in POJK people want to now join India, especially in Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Jhangad, Kotli, Dadnial, Bagh, Poonch. There are people on the roadside, which is happening for last 2 years quite a bit. And they are finding it difficult to control that. And, they are saying their main river, which was the Neelam, which we called it Krishna Ganga, they have diverted toward Punjab from POK. The Mangala dam where the electricity is produced, first the electricity come to Punjab, then come to POJK with 10 times more rate. So overall, if you see it, they wanted to divert the attention. Pakistan army and Pakistan government is in a thick trouble. They
Okay.
feel that this is the only way, do something spectacular in India, and especially when JD Vance is there, you'll find the Kashmir issue will again come into forefront, and there will be a diversion of attention from what's happening in Pakistan toward India.
Okay, okay. Mr. Dayal, you mentioned about taking some very specific harsh measures, like, shutting down the Pakistani High Commission here. Now, what General Sewach is pointing out from that, if we gather, is the fact that Pakistan's idea, and specifically Pakistani army's idea, is to go ahead and, divert attention from its problems at home. But again, Mr. Dayal, by responding to India's measures with one specific response, I would like to understand, by withdrawing from the Shimla agreement, what is it that the Pakistan is trying to do? Have they also given up on the diplomatic effort? Have they also left all hope that there can't be any diplomatic solution to this problem which we are discussing for years and years altogether? Perhaps on our side, we have learned it the harder way, that the diplomatic efforts are not yielding any results.
Well, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it has always thought that it will be able to get Jammu and Kashmir by force. Its strategy has been, as I said earlier, to try and bleed India by 1,000 cuts, weaken India, and snatch away Jammu and Kashmir. Now, General Sewach has said many of the things that I was going to say towards the end of my first intervention. I pointed out that just as they have this policy that they will bleed us by 1,000 cuts, we must have a policy that we will strike so many blows at Pakistan that they will break up into different parts. Now, General Sewach rightly referred to certain movements like the Baloch separatist movement or the Pashtun separatist movement. He referred to the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and the Baluchistan Liberation Front. Now, India must assist in every manner possible these separatist forces. We must assist through giving funding or weapons in any manner, maybe by befriending the government in Kabul. Now, incidentally, the relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan are very strained. As it is, Afghanistan never accepted the Durand Line, and it feels that the Pashtun inhabited areas in Pakistan should be part of Afghanistan. Pakistan, on its part, is rounding up Afghan refugees and sending them back to Pakistan. So there is a lot of bad blood between them. Frankly speaking, we must do everything possible to strike blows at Pakistan from within that country by strengthening these separatist forces, assisting them in whatever manner possible, and making Pakistan weak and even break it up. Now, let me also mention, you referred to my suggestion that we close down the Pakistan High Commission as harsh. No, it is a realistic step. When I was posted abroad, I would take up with the foreign offices about the issue of Pakistan sponsoring terrorism against India. Many foreign office representatives would say to me, if they're a terrorist country, why do you have diplomatic relations with them? Of course, we should not have diplomatic relations with a terrorist country. And we don't need these diplomatic relations. We have no trade with Pakistan. We have closed the Atari border. There is no travel. There's no people-to-people contact. Cultural contacts were long dead. We have only hostility. So why should we have the High Commission of a hostile country, which is always conspiring against us, threatening our security? Why should we let it continue to operate here, the High Commission of Pakistan? Let me also mention, it's playing a very dangerous role. It is keeping these sleeper cells funded and giving them the ability to help the ISI against the interests of India. Let me be very frank. This terrorist act which took place in Pahalgam certainly got some help from within the country. The terrorists were assisted. Otherwise, it could not have happened. We have to locate these sleeper cells. And for that reason, first of all, wipe out the root cause, send out the Pakistani diplomats, close the High Commission, then find out where these sleeper cells are located and shut them down. Let me also mention, hold on 1 minute.
Please, carry on.
There is this issue of external support. A lot of countries have come forward to voice their condemnation of the Pahalgam terror attack. But when it comes to tackling the menace of Pakistan, we have to go it alone. It does not matter whether other countries support us or not. We have to make sure that this terrorist country is brought to the book, that its leaders, its establishment, its armed forces, its intelligence wing, the ISI, they are all punished and held to account. And we should not rest till all this.
Okay. It looks like, what you're pointing out, Ambassador Dayal, and what General Sivach was also earlier referring to, that there seems to be an end of the road as far as diplomatic efforts are concerned. So let's focus on the other portion here. The suggestions which were made by you, Ambassador Dayal, and some others which we are taking reference from in terms of the statements coming in from the Pakistani side and the decisions which are being taken by the Indian government as well. For example, General Sivach, and I'd like to ask you here as to what are the solutions then, because Pakistan has termed India's keeping Indus Water Treaty in abeyance as an act of war. It is withdrawn from the Shimla Agreement, which clearly means that they do not recognize the line of control, that is the LOC now. Are they looking, or are they waiting for us to take that step? That's one. Second is, if that's the case, where do we begin?
Vishal, first of all, let's see that diplomatic action and economic action which we have taken, are they going to make any impact on ground? You see, holding basically the water treaty, Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, it is going to make a tremendous impact. The point is that there's 60% of irrigation is dependent on Indus Valley, basically the water which is flowing from India. That is from Jhelum, Chenab, and Indus. Now the question comes is that once we have held it in abeyance, the water we can control it and we can have it used by us about 20%. We have not been using. Now we will able to use it, and especially in the time when it is in winters, when the rainfall is scanty, they will get the pinch of it in time to come. There are many mechanisms. By coming out of Indus Water Treaty, you will find it Pakistan, being a lower riparian state, will suffer. Now, so they wanted to do something tit for tat, and they have done that. They will also suspend Shimla Agreement. The Shimla Agreement, it's not going to make any difference to us. Why? Because in Shimla Agreement, two issues were very important. One is that the Kashmir issue was considered as a bilateral issue. There was no requirement of third-party intervention. And the second thing is the ceasefire line, which was earlier, was converted to line of control. Now, let's see the first point, which is there is a bilateral issue. Nowadays, we don't speak that Jammu and Kashmir is a bilateral issue. We say this is a part of India and it is illegally occupied by Pakistan, the POJK and Gilgit-Baltistan, and it should come back. Our position is very clear. There is no scope of neither third-party intervention nor bilaterally. We are not going to talk to Pakistan on Jammu and Kashmir. What we are going to talk at, this part has to come back to us. It is an alienable part of India. Now, the policy is crystal clear. Are we capable of taking? I'm sure in time to come, we are capable. We are doing everything which is possible. Certain things cannot be spelled out, but certainly the government of the day is doing it. Now, the second thing comes ceasefire line, converting line of control. Now it goes back to ceasefire line. Is it going to make a difference? Not going to make a material difference on ground. What difference it will make was that from 2021, we are having a ceasefire on line of control. What which country is benefited by that? Are we benefited or Pakistani benefit? Now see the condition of Pakistan. Pakistan having problem into their western border in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa against Taliban government on their Durand line, against Baluchistan Liberation Army, and you have given them an escape route. They could take out the troops from here because there was a ceasefire, and they can utilize that. And we have given them a loose rope. And second thing is that if the ceasefire is active, then it is very difficult for the terrorists to infiltrate, because then you can punish the Pakistani posts which are helping them to push the terrorists toward our side. Second thing very important is that economically which we are far stronger from them when we fire RT and especially buffers and all, which affect tremendously toward the Pakistani side, and their people go against Pakistan army. Their response is very weak because they can't afford. So this ceasefire must be abrogated immediately. This was the first thing which everyone was trying to convey. Now the second thing is coming, how we handle this. See, first of all, as on today, everyone is contemplating what will be our kinetic step in terms of military stand. Now, will this be something what happened after Uri? We had a surgical strike. Will it happen what happened after Pulwama, something airstrike in Balakot, or it will be something much bigger? So one thing is clear, it will be much bigger. And what India is contemplating is combination of all. Diplomatic we have spoken, economic we have spoken, possibly we will also do in diplomatic, environmental shaping also being done by taking all the countries into confidence. We do not want help from someone, but we also don't want Pakistan should get isolated. The World Bank, IMF and all, they must come to know the way Khwaja Asif, their defense minister, has openly admitted that they are doing dirty work of helping the terrorists for last 3-4 decades due to pressure from the West. So the point is put pressure diplomatically, economically, cordon them, do not let them grow. And third thing is the military action. And military action can be many. One don't have to spell it out, but one can say with a lot of confidence that the Navy can put a blockade which will be made a tremendous difference in Bay of Bengal, because Pakistan do not have oil and other essential item more than about 3 weeks. That's a very important thing. No one can stop to you deploying yourself in international water. And Pakistan Navy is a defensive Navy, not offensive Navy. The second thing which is important is, as far as Indian Army is concerned and Indian Air Force is concerned, we are far stronger than Pakistan today. With Rafale coming in to us, we have a capability in terms of scalp missile that we can hit their number of targets without crossing over the line of control. That's a very important thing. We have BrahMos also. We have also Agni 3. So we have number of options available to basically make sure that Pakistan bleed, and Pakistan is knowing it. Pakistan has a 42 camps of terrorists which are located inside Pakistan, and also the 2 training and also headquarters of Jaise Mohammed Das ke Toba. That also are the target. So Indian government has already contemplating, and you will find it that in time to come, you will get a very strong military kinetic action in Pakistan, which will make Pakistan to bleed. Yes, Pakistan may react, but all those contingency will be taken into consideration, and we will do war gaming as a nation, and we'll see that Pakistan, if its response will be more of showing off and a very meek rather than actual substance. So all these things I taken into consideration. I'm sure, Vishal, in time to come, India is taking a stance now. Enough is enough. We are going to punish Pakistan Army and Pakistan ISI because they are the actual culprit. It's not the terrorists which can be managed anytime by Pakistan ISI. Vishal.
Okay. So kinetic measures in terms of military steps to be taken will be effected in the time to come. We will get to see them, of course, not to be divulged on panel discussions or on television channels the other way around, but we will have to get the clear picture earlier also. But a last question, Ambassador Dayal, to a point which both of you have made, and since I'd like to ask you, because as far as the international scenario is concerned, of course, Pakistan would be looking forward to some sort of help from some quarters in the international community. Turkey is perhaps one such country. We've seen both these nations hobnobbing on the issue of Kashmir. Also, the statements coming in from Pakistani Defense Minister more or less look like an appeal to the Western powers that we might need your help.
Well, Pakistan will certainly appeal to the Western powers. It will get some help from Turkey, but both Turkey and Pakistan have internal troubles and serious internal troubles. They are totally divided societies. So what sort of help a troubled Turkey will be able to give to a troubled Pakistan remains to be seen. But General Sivach was absolutely right when he pointed out that whatever action has been taken by India is just the first set of measures. It doesn't mean that this is all that we are going to do. We are going to do much, much more. There will be some diplomatic steps that will be taken and perhaps also some military steps. And you rightly pointed out, Vishal, that military steps don't have to be pre-announced. They don't have to be announced on television channels or through the media. They are first taken and then made known. So I don't think our government is going to make the mistake of speaking about whatever it will do militarily. There is a lot of speculation in the media. But certainly, the government is likely to announce more diplomatic steps which will be taken against Pakistan and which will greatly hurt Pakistan. Now, let me also say a couple of things. Within Pakistan, there is absolutely no support for the current government. It is a minority government. People are disenchanted even with the armed forces. So, there is a lot to be said in favor of our trying to encourage internal dissent within Pakistan. That can be done. Let Pakistan appeal to Western powers. But the internal condition of Pakistan, the mess which that country is in, is no secret from anybody. Everybody knows about it. Even the Saudis and the UAE, who had been helping Pakistan in the past, are turning away from it. Why? Because they realize that Pakistan is a failed state and nobody wants to align with a failed state. Let me also say something. Will Pakistan change its colors? Unfortunately, the manner in which that country is run is not going to permit any change of the official line towards India, because the power that rules the roost in Pakistan is the army. And the army will not change its policy towards India. We have to be prepared for long drawn out hostility. And as they say, the best defense is offense. We have to hurt Pakistan where it really matters. And I think our government is thinking every possible step that can be taken. And that is why the Prime Minister said that the perpetrators of terrorist acts against India, as well as their backers, and who's the backer? The Pakistan Army, as well as their backers, will be punished.
Okay. So there it is. And indeed, as you pointed out, Mr. Dayal, that there are a lot of speculations happening on both sides of the border. But we're not in the game of speculations. We're just trying to put across a very concrete analysis of what the situation is, what might be the implications, and what exactly can be the solution for the menace of cross-border terrorism, which every time causes loss of innocent lives in some or the other part of the country here. We'll come back again next week, but meanwhile, thank you so much, General Sivach and Ambassador Dayal as well, for sharing your valuable inputs and insight as well on this developing situation. We'll keep a close watch, and perhaps next week again, we will take a closer look as to what has happened and what are the options from there onwards. Till then, keep watching Worldview and Dialogus. Thank you.